So we're joined by Jason Howlett, Jason of HDM Energies. You've got some particular insight into what's happening in the world of solar, particularly from the installer's point of view, and some changes at government level. So just run through those things and how that affects installers, and then how Energies potentially can step in and help.
Yeah, it's a really exciting time within policy there's so many things happening and so many changes. And I know it's caused a bit of uncertainty as well, particularly like Eco4 now on phase out, no new schemes being applied. And then there's this sort of gap that's now appeared before the Warm Homes Fund comes in, and the government's consultation right now in terms of how it should deploy the 3.3 billion. But they're already talking about that's next year before that money is going to sort of come out. So they've released 100 million to sort of bridge that gap and said, right, we'll push that forward. But I think now is that real, I think there's two things really happening now at that macro level. Is there's a lot of able to pay customers who are now sort of coming into the market and going with the conflict in Iran and everything else. But there's also a number of people now who are going, well, there's that shortage in sort of funding, and have been looking at that and utilised that funding and relied on funding historically, who are going, well, what's next? And that's a really exciting element that HDM Energies brings, because actually if you've got leads and opportunities and but then that people are struggling with the funding, that PPA funded model that HDM Energies is now offering can actually really bridge this gap over the next 12 months. But actually beyond that, start to offer installers a new revenue stream, a new market potentially, where they may have been relying on social housing. They now think, well, actually there's a market that's booming for commercial and industrial sector who are very challenged by energy pricing. And so, well, how do we get into this market? So utilizing the strength and the financial strength that sits behind what HDM Energies is doing is massively important, and really can help installers at this time to bridge that gap.
And for those that aren't familiar with the terminology PPA, what does it stand for, and what are the mechanics behind it?
So the PPA is the power purchase agreement. So basically it's locking in energy pricing and really giving the benefit of the end user knowledge of what the energy bill is going to be for 10, 15, 20, 25 years. So it's a massively important aspect to say, well, we can now bank on what our energy bills are going to be, as opposed to the variability of what's happening with global conflict. So, typically HDM Energies are offering the sub 20 pence, 18, 19 pence, where we're seeing headline rates, so 28, 30 pence, and likely to go up. So it's that creating certainty in this very uncertain world. We've had two massive shocks in the energy market over the last 2-3 years, with 4 years now, with Ukraine, now with the Middle East. We're going to see this volatility. Energy is being targeted. You can see this in global conflict. So the best way of looking at this is now to say, well, how can I protect myself? How can I ensure and protect against this volatile macroeconomic situation?
And from an installer's perspective, what are the benefits to them for partnering with HDM Energies to bring on stream those commercial installation projects?
I think the great thing, it's a very simple model. The HDM Energies model. So it's something that can very easily take to an end user and say, how do we help you lower your energy bills right now? That's a sort of the selling point. There's no capital you need. We just can start saving you money the moment you sign the form. And I think it's pretty much that simple. And that's where it's a real extra tool in an installer's kit bag that's saying, we've got a solution for you. We know capital is challenged at times, or you may have other priorities and go, well, yeah, I do have some money, but I've got to invest in new racking or new fridges or whatever it is. So you don't have to worry about deploying your own capital. Deploy our capital into that, and then we can help deliver you a saving on your energy bills and your operational costs from day one. So it's a very, very simple solution.
And where does HDM Energies get its funding from to support the cost of materials and the installation costs that fundamentally pays the installer?
Yeah, so that partnership that HDM Energies has with Paragon Bank, and that facility, the initial facility was 100 million, and there's more available once that's spent. So this was just like, yeah, here's an initial 100 million, get it going. So working with respected UK funders, as in Paragon Bank, it's then it's giving that sort of capital that's there, and negotiating at that sort of rate gives a competitive rate that then can be used into those projects. Linking that then with HDM Wholesale, HDM Energies then buys the products from HDM Wholesale, so it really is giving the installer that best of both worlds, a very competitive material pricing, very competitive investment pricing and funding pricing and interest rates. So it really does combine, and that's what gives HDM, combining both the energies business and the wholesale business, bringing that whole solution that really helps their installers and future installers, saying if they're not trading with HDM, really come and have a chat with the team, because it opens doors. It really can help them open doors and keep the business turning and help them make a profit.
Brilliant. Thanks very much.
All right, thank you.